Puta, yes, Amma. Could you please finish your Karapincha? Amma, I don't want to. Puta, can you please finish your Karapincha? Amma, I don't want to finish my Karapincha. Puta, do you want to finish your Karapincha? Okay, Amma, I'll finish my Karapincha. So that was me, the tiny boy who was big in the stature, who was wiping his tears, realizing he has to eat this green monstrosity of existence. Wow, it was bitter and it was disgusting. CC evaluators and fellow Gavliers. Now, me being the small child I started feasting on this Karapincha and realized this was the worst thing in existence. Because at that time, obviously being a child, that should be the worst thing in your existence. Now, before everything, have you guys ever deliberately eaten Karapincha? We have a few. Seems like we all have the same mother in different forms. So then there I was, eating the Karapincha, because my mother realized that I was staring intensely into Colonel Sanders' eyes in a KFC bucket. My mom was very insightful in that sense. She was intuitive and she knew that I was not going to end up in a good situation. Being the chubby little boy, I started eating it, and according to ChatGPT, Karapincha has a lot of benefits. It reduces your blood sugar, it reduces your cholesterol. That is very relevant to me as a child, and even now. I'm a little more plumper than who am I lying? Why am I lying to myself? I am not little plumper. I am way plumper now. I should have eaten more Karapincha. I should have asked my mother to bring a bucket load of Karapincha so I can just feast on it and remove this excess fat out of my body. Now, if I were to talk about my mom GPT, not the chat GPT, my mother GPT. She said that it reduces your cholesterol. It helps you in many ways. Now, I don't want to acknowledge my mother being right, obviously being the rebellious kid I am. I just didn't want to eat the Karapincha at all. Then I was forced into, because of my mother's slipper looked a little bit more intimidating than I thought. Now eating the Karapincha, thinking, why does a 14-year-old child have to go through this much? This is the worst thing in existence. Realizing there were so many wars, so many issues in the world. This is the worst thing in my world. Why am I talking about Karapincha to all of you guys? This simple green leaf that has so many benefits. I realized moving forward that whenever I finish my plate of rice, there would always be this little particle that remains at the end of my rice, and thinking, oh, I feel like I should eat a little bit more, I'm a bit more hungry. And having the OCD I have and trying to reduce my obesity, I started eating that Karapincha. Bitter as it is, I started doing that. And every single day in my life, I started to eat more Karapincha every single day, because I used to have a lot of dal curry in my rice, because I love dal curry, by the way. I love chicken curry. I love all those curries. So I have a culmination of those curries in my rice, and I eat more Karapincha every single day. And I realized my mother was right. I hate to admit that, but my mother was right. As Karapincha is good for your health, as you get used to Karapincha being that bitter, it was a euphemism, a moment of realization and epiphany that although it was bitter, it was good for me. Now, I'm not talking about Karapincha here. I am talking about the challenges we have in our lives. The pain, the trauma, every single thing that we go through our lives, it's basically a Karapincha. We eat it, we feast on it, and we don't want to eat it, first of all. We don't want it at all, because it's always that remnants that remain after your heartiest meals. The more bitter it is, the better it is for you. You need to eat Karapincha deliberately. You don't want anyone to force feed it, because in your life, you have to go through challenges to be resilient, to know that life is not just about fun and games, but you have to appreciate the good and the bad things in life equally. You should stand in between the lines rather than tipping towards a certain side of the scale. On a Libra scale, you should not stay on the good side, you should not stay on the bad side, but you should know to appreciate all the sides. That is what I realized in my life. I realized that I needed to weigh the scales equally. I needed to know what life is, and that is to experience both good and both bad. Both the dal curry and both the Karapincha that makes the dal curry so good and so healthy for yourself. So next time you see a Karapincha, do not discard it. Do not discard it. Otherwise, I will take my slipper again and I will go attack each and every one of y'all. I will literally embody my mother. By the way, it's inherent because you gain genetics from your mother. So genetically speaking, I'm going to embody my mother and beat every one of y'all. Because do not turn your back on the Karapincha you have in your lives. Do not turn your back onto all the challenges you have in your life and keep moving forward. Be a herbivore, not a vegan. Okay, I don't know about veganism here. But be a herbivore. Go straight and eat the Karapincha out of the tree. Eat it, and please make sure that you gain resilience and make sure that you are a person you can look up to. Thank you.